Hi, my name is Mr. Scott, and I am your child's Algebra 2 Trig Honors teacher. I'm going to try and keep this video to about 5 minutes to respect your time, so I may go through this material really quickly. You'll be able to find this presentation linked with this video, I believe. If not, it will be on Schoology, and under our course page, you should be able to see it there. So I'll get right into it because I want to respect your time. So first off, the course description. What's going to distinguish this class from a regular Algebra 2 trig class is that we're emphasizing modeling with mathematics, meaning we want students to use mathematics to represent different things in real life. And so the modeling part is a little bit harder, but also with the modeling part, there's this problem-solving aspect of it because a pathway isn't always known when you're modeling a problem. So one of the things I do want to emphasize for this class is we want students to understand that there's going to be some struggle at the beginning of a new concept simply because we want them to make sense of it through their own experiences and ideas. We'll refine those, we'll solidify that understanding as we continue progressing, but there will be a time when, hey, I'm not totally sure on this concept, and that's okay. I'm trying to be very flexible for your child. There will be opportunities to show their understanding multiple times. There'll be opportunities to get some help. There'll be additional video resources for them if they need it. But ultimately, we're trying to be very flexible, but also emphasize this idea of modeling with mathematics. So we'll go over the Algebra 2 trig curriculum, but the emphasis is this modeling with mathematics. That's going to be the big distinction between regular and honors. So with that said, one of our expectations is you need to understand that a pathway to solving a problem will not obviously be given. It's going to require students, your child's going to be asked to play with it, to try something out, to try and make sense of it through their own ideas. And from there, that's where I'll take those ideas and we'll share and we'll have students explain and then we'll make sense of the problem and then come to a pathway or multiple pathways rather that makes sense to solving the problem. So it's okay if things don't make sense at the beginning. It'll make more sense as we discuss in over time. So don't worry if an idea or concept didn't make sense or if a homework didn't go well. There will be opportunities to get the help that you need at a later time. So with that, those are just a few expectations. Academic integrity is pretty self-explanatory. We expect honesty there. Talking about grading, one of the things you'll see in Aries is a score of 1 to 4, and you'll see it in two different categories. You'll see in DOK 3 and 4, which is our conceptual understanding. That's our higher level of thinking type of problems, and that's requiring students to really explain what's going on, but also apply their understanding to a different situation. So those type of problems are a little bit more in depth. And then our procedural questions are more of like the traditional math problems where it's like, oh, it's similar to what Mr. Scott did in class for the homework problems and such. So in that regard, we're really emphasizing this deeper understanding and application of math rather than just, let me just memorize and do. So what you'll see is that you'll see a score 1 through 4. 4 is exemplary, meaning that the student has performed, has surpassed the expectations of that particular learning target. So you'll see a 4 in procedural, which means, hey, they're doing fantastic with procedural. If you see a 3 in their procedural or DOK 1 and 2, then that means, hey, they are proficient, but they are making some mistakes. And so that's kind of how you can read this kind of scale. So if you're seeing a lot of 4s, more 4s than 3s, your student is going towards an A, and you'll see that should match up with their grade. It should be an A. If you see more 3s than 4s, then that's more like a B. They are proficient, but they're just not at a high proficiency. So that's how you can kind of scale and be like, hey, what's going on? I see a lot of 3s. That means, you're not quite there yet, or there's some mistakes that are happening. And so that's how you can read it in the grade book. So with that said, our grading is pure assessment. And the reason is we want the grade to be representative of what the kid knows. Purely that. Now, we recognize not every kid is going to understand material at the same time, so there's going to be retakes allowed. In fact, there are retakes. We do quizzes every week, and some of those will be graded, some of those won't. But those that are graded, we've built in a retake process to them because we'll put in some previous topics. And if they didn't do well on the first topic last week and then they did really well the second time, then we'll kind of adjust their grade for that. The other thing is we'll allow retakes for the unit tests. Well, I typically allow only 2 or 3 retakes per semester. And the reason for that is we don't want students to rely on the retakes, but I also recognize not every kid learns at the same speed. So if there's a concept that makes little sense by the time the unit test comes on, again, then let's address that. Let's work through it and get you ready to retake that particular learning target or concept. So with that idea, that is the purpose for the retakes, is to give that kind of safety net or this opportunity for students to relearn. So with that said, homework is an important idea. It's not graded, it's for practice. So try to be flexible for your child. And the homework will be through GoFormative. There'll be some additional videos that are posted up. We're trying to get things structured and worked out so that way it's a little bit easier for you. And as the year goes on, I think it'll be a little bit more fluid. But in short, that's basically all I wanted to share with you. If you have any questions, feel free to talk to me or email me, and you can go through this course information on your own if you'd like. But in short, that's it. So I look forward to hearing from you if you have any questions. If not, have a wonderful evening.